Hey, what's up you guys? It's Dorothy and welcome back to my channel. Thank you guys so much for coming in and stopping by and getting ready to listen to another chapter of One of Us is Lying. In today's video, we are going to read chapter 21 and we're going to do part 1 of this. Excuse me. I am so excited to be getting into this. We are 9 chapters away from finishing the book. I do believe that there's only 30 chapters in this book, so I'm pretty sure I'm accurate. But last time I said that, I was definitely wrong. Excuse me. I will say that there is a little bit of an extra video coming after we finish all of the chapters, just because there is a little extra at the end of this book that I will read with you guys. So let's get right into this video. This video may contain sensitive topics and foul language. If you do not wish to continue, please click off of the video now. You have been warned. There's ice. Berwyn, Wednesday, October 17th, 12:25 p.m. At lunch on Wednesday, Addie and I are talking about nail polish. She's a font of information on the subject. With short nails like yours, you want something pale, almost nude, she says, examining my hands with a professional air. But like super glossy, I don't really wear nail polish, I tell her. Well, you're getting fancier, aren't you, for whatever reason? She arches a brow at my careful blow dry and my cheeks heat as Maeve laughs. You might want to give it a try. It's a mundane, innocuous conversation compared to yesterday's lunch when we caught up on my police visit, Nate's mother, and the fact that Addie got called to the situation separately to answer questions about the missing EpiPens again. Yesterday, we were murder suspects with complicated personal lives, but today we're just being girls. Until a shrill voice from a few tables over pierces the conversation. It's like I told them, Vanessa, Miriam says. Which person's rumor is definitely true, and which person's totally fallen apart since Simon died. That's your murderer. What's she on about now? Addie mutters, nibbling like a squirrel on an oversized crouton. Janae, who doesn't talk much when she sits with us, darts a look at Addie and says, You haven't heard? Michael Powers' crew is out front. A bunch of kids are giving interviews. My stomach drops and Addie shoves her tray away. Oh great, that's all I need. Vanessa on TV yakking about how guilty I am. Nobody really thinks it was you, Janae says. She nods toward me, or you, or she watches as Cooper heads for Vanessa's table with a tray balanced in one hand and spots us and changes course, seating himself at the edge of ours. He does this sometimes, sits with Addie for a few minutes at the beginning of lunch, long enough to signal he's not abandoning her like the rest of her friends, but not so long that Jake gets pissed. I can't decide whether it's sweet or cowardly. What's up, guys? He asks, starting to peel an orange. He's dressed in a sage button down, the brightness his hazel eyes, and he got a baseball cap tan from the sun hitting his cheeks more than anything else. Somehow, instead of making him look uneven, it only adds to the Cooper Clay glow. I used to think Cooper was the handsomest guy at school. He still might be, but lately there's something about almost Ken doll-like about him, a little plastic and conventional, or maybe my tastes have changed. Have you given your Michael Powers and vet interview yet? I joke. Before he can answer, a voice speaks over my shoulder. You should. Go ahead and be the murderer club everybody thinks you guys are. Ridding Bayview High of its asshats. Leah Jackson perches on the table next to Cooper. She doesn't notice Janae, who turns a brick red and stiffens in her chair. Hello, Leah, Cooper says patiently, as though he's heard it before. Which I guess he did at Simon's memorial service. Leah scans the table, her eyes landing on me. You ever gonna admit you cheated? Her tone's controversial and her expression is almost friendly, but I still freeze. Hypocritical Leah, Maeve's voice rings out, surprising me when I turn. Her eyes are blazing. You can't complain about Simon in one breath and repeat his rumor in the next. Leah gives Maeve a small, slow lute. Touché, Rohez the younger. But Maeve's just getting warmed up. I'm sick of the conversations never changing. Why doesn't anybody talk about how awful about that made this school sometimes? She looks directly at Leah, her eyes challenging. Why don't you? They're right outside, you know, dying for a new angle. You could give it to them. Leah recoils. I'm not talking to the media about that. Why not? Maeve asks. I've never seen her like this. She's almost fierce as she stares Leah down. You didn't do anything wrong. Simon did. He did it for years. I know everybody's sainting him for it. Don't you have a problem with that? Leah stares right back, and I can't make out the expression that crosses her face. It's almost triumphant. Obviously, I do. So do something about it, Maeve says. Leah stands abruptly, pushing her hair over her shoulder. The movement lifts her sleeve and exposes a crescent-shaped scar on her wrist. Maybe I will. She stalks out the door with long strides. Cooper blinks after her. Dang, Maeve, remind me not to get on your bad side. Maeve wrinkles her nose, and I remember the file with Cooper's name on it she still hasn't managed to decrypt. Leah's not on my bad side, she mutters, tapping furiously on her phone. I'm almost afraid to ask. What are you doing? Sending Simon's 4chan threads to Michael Powers Investigate, she says. They're journalists, right? They should look into it. What? Janae bursts out. What are you talking about? Simon was all over these discussion threads full of creepy people cheering on school shootings and stuff like that. Maeve says, I've been reading them for days. Other people started them, but he jumped right in and said all kinds of awful things. He didn't even care when that boy killed all of those people in Orange County. She's still tapping away when Janae's hand shoots out and locks around her wrist, almost knocking her phone out of her hand. How would you know that? She hisses, and Maeve finally snaps out of the zone to realize she might have said too much. Let her go, I say. When Janae doesn't, I reach out and pry her fingers off of Maeve's wrist. They're icy cold. Janae pushes her chair back with a loud scrape, and when she gets to her feet, she's shaking all over. None of you knew anything about him, she says in a choked voice and stomps away just like Leah did, except she's probably not about to give Michael's Powers a sound bite. Maeve and I exchange glances as I drum my fingers on the table. I can't figure Janae out. Most days I'm not sure why she sits with us when we must be a constant reminder of Simon, unless it's to hear conversations like the one we just had. I gotta go, Cooper says abruptly. As though he's used his allotted non-Jake time, he lifts his tray, where the bulk of his lunch lies untouched, and smoothly makes his way to his usual table. So our crew is back to being all girls and stays that way for the rest of lunch. The only other guy who'd sit with us never bothers making an appearance in the cafeteria, but I pass Nate in the hallway afterward, and all the questions bubbling in my brain about Simon, Leah, and Janae disappear when he gives me a fleeting grin, because God, it's beautiful when that boy smiles. That is the end of part 1 of this chapter. I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!